Please, you tell them.
Actually, I was really enjoying the way you were telling them. It was great.
I think most of us who have had an orgasm know that this is a really fun experience. It makes you feel good. It provides this feeling of release. But a lot of people actually struggle to have an orgasm. And I personally think it's from a lack of sex education.
Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die.
So let's talk about sex. Let's talk about research, science-based facts, and evidence for how a woman can have an orgasm and 3 reasons why a woman might not be experiencing an orgasm. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on bell notifications for future videos by Sonya Maya. That's me. 70% of heterosexual women do not come, do not finish, have an orgasm when they have sex, which is a really large number. Many women are faking it, and I've talked about this in my videos before, but a lot of women feel this need to fake it, whether it's just to satisfy the needs of their partner and they're not prioritizing theirs. And there seems to be this issue in society of women believing that the men's orgasm is more important than the woman's, which I definitely disagree with. Research shows that 90% of women can come if, when they originally struggled, like individuals who weren't able to come were able to overcome that. So if you're one of those people watching this video who's never had an orgasm, it is very likely that you can have an orgasm as long as you learn more about your body, more about sex education in general, and about the vagina.
My God, I have been dying to meet you.
Oh, cool. Okay. Hi.
A little tip for you: a lot of people don't understand that the clitoris is this large organ in your body, and it is shaped like a wishbone. A lot of people think that clitoris is just like that little button on the outside of your vagina, but in reality that's just the tip of the clitoris. And for most women, stimulation of that button, so to speak, the clitoral outside of the body, is what women need to come. And I've talked about this many times, but only about 20% of women worldwide can actually come from the inside, meaning from penetrative sex.
Lucky.
That means that 80% of women need clitoral stimulation to finish. And a lot of time that includes some hand stimulation, some toys, some mouth stimulation. And that's why I like to say foreplay is the core play, because a lot of the time you can make a woman come before you actually stick anything inside of her. And a lot of women, most women, when you look at like the majority of orgasms, achieve orgasms from clitoral stimulation and inside penetration. So there are some women who can only really come from the inside if the clitoris is also stimulated. So you're either only coming on the outside or coming from the inside and the outside, if that makes sense. But there's a very small amount of women that can come from the inside without any outer stimulation. So the first reason why you might not be finishing is because you were unaware that you need the clitoral stimulation. If that's you, I'm one of those people. A lot of women are like that. Most women are like that. 80% of women need that clitoral stimulation. Maybe you don't know that. And the reason why that is actually mostly anatomy based. It turns out the distance between our urinary opening and our clitoris is the biggest indicator of whether or not you can finish from the inside. And this was actually something that was determined before utero. So before you were even like born, essentially. It's an anatomical feature that you don't have control over. The critical number for achieving an orgasm with penetration is 2.5 centimeters, and this distance will allow the clitoris to be stimulated from vaginal penetration. However, if the clitoris is farther from the urethra than 2.5 centimeters, this will not happen. You will not come from the inside without additional stimulation to the clitoris. So for women that finish this way, who are able to come on the inside, so jealous. It's really good to do positions like doggy style or reverse cowgirl, because that's gonna kind of get that internal stimulation that you need. For women that can't come on the inside, I've read that missionary position is good, because sometimes you can use like a vibrator and hold that to your clitoris while, you know, the man or the woman is stimulating you with the penis or a toy or whatever the case may be. So that's something that you might want to give it a shot. Second reason that women sometimes are not able to come is because they might not feel like they deserve it. We've been conditioned by society to believe that we are less worthy of an orgasm. In a lot of cultures and religions and that kind of thing, it is kind of seen as like the woman serves the man, and you know, the sex is pretty much for the pleasure of the man, and that's more important than the woman. And I've noticed that in my personal life, just like from observing, that it does kind of seem to be the case. A lot of the time, people will believe that for some reason, I don't know why, but the sex is over when the man has his orgasm. But like, I don't believe that. I think that both individuals, man or woman, should be able to come, and then that's when sex ends. How come the sex ends when the man comes? I mean, I guess that would be like relevant biologically, right, for fertilizing an egg, but in my opinion, sex is a really, really important way for people to bond, and having an orgasm is a really big part of that, no matter who you are. So this seems to be a very big issue among heterosexual relationships, especially because when you look at the statistics between lesbian individuals and heterosexual individuals, lesbian women seem to have the most orgasms. So that there seems to be an issue. The third reason I believe that it's hard for a woman to have an orgasm is because people are just so scared sometimes to communicate their wants and needs. They might be like feel shameful about an aspect or a fantasy that they have. I posted about this before, but when you are able to talk about your fantasies and desires with your partner, you're a lot more likely to have higher sexual satisfaction, relationship satisfaction, and just being open about it. It's actually very, very likely that your partner will want to hear these things. They will want this feedback. Most of the time, they really want to please you. They might not be good at verbalizing it. Some people are kind of shy when it comes to that kind of thing. But if you're more verbal about it, about what you want in bed, that could actually spice things up and make things a lot less awkward and uncomfortable for both of you. And in general, we're just like anxious beings. Like the way society has come about, we tend to overthink. A lot of us have trouble falling asleep.
Go to sleep, I can't even fall asleep.
So that is really bad for orgasms. As I've talked about before, the brain is the largest sexual organ. A lot of the time, an orgasm is 90% in your head. So if you're not able to get your head right, to get your mind right, you're just not going to achieve the orgasm. So doing everything you can to de-stress. That's why foreplay is so important, because foreplay can kind of get you, like, get your hormones up, get you kind of in that mood, and then kind of alleviate the anxiety and help you focus on your partner before actually getting to the part where you're like trying to achieve that orgasm, you know? And I did find in this article, distraction or interference in the cognitive processing of erotic stimuli plays an important role in the development of sexual dysfunctions or difficulties. So thinking about things too much is really what causes things like erectile dysfunction, delayed ejaculation, not being able to have an orgasm as a female, and so many other issues. I think the biggest takeaway in this video is that most women can, even if you haven't had one. I get a lot of comments on my TikTok videos and Instagram saying like, I've never had an orgasm, why is that? Maybe it's because of one of the things I've talked about in this video. Maybe you are not anatomically, your anatomy doesn't line up for you to have an orgasm on the inside, and you didn't know that. So you need to find a way to really stimulate your clitoris on the outside. It's always okay to take a mirror and take a look at your beautiful vagina and just like see what's going on down there.
Up top, this is the clitoris. It is where the party happens. This is the urethra. That's where the pee comes out.
Oh, I didn't know there was a second hole.
Well, there's 3 if you count Uranus.
I don't think I do.
Yeah, me neither. She's an asshole.
And touch yourself and see what feels good to you when you're alone, because then you're going to be more prepared for when you're with a partner, because you're going to know what you like, what you don't like. Sometimes certain parts of the vagina, when you touch it, it can be too sensitive in a way that hurts. You need to find like the rhythm and the feeling that doesn't feel overwhelming to you. And like I said before, you might have issues communicating. You might have too much on your mind. Maybe there's other things you can do to alleviate stress, like meditation, like I've talked about in this video. Deep breathing is good for erectile dysfunction. There's so many things that you can do when you do the research and understand. And now I'm just rambling. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on bell notifications. I really hope this was helpful. Comment anything below if you'd like to talk about sex in the comments. You know I love to talk about sex. That song is like my motto.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.